What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be very simple, just a little fish room update down here. I've got some new things going on down here, some new fish and stuff like that, so I just figured let me pick the camera up and show you guys what's going on down here. We're going to get straight into it, starting here with my breeding rack. As you guys can tell, tanks are still, they're pretty dirty right now. They're due for water changes, but don't mind that. Water is clean. But you can see my discus pair here. The male is still, I mean, he's still alive, but he's still very dark in color, stressed out. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I still haven't dosed with the back to side, but I mean, he's eating. He eats great. So I don't really know what it could be, but I'm just going to try to give him as comfortable of a life as I can until, you know, his time comes. But that's pretty much it here. Nothing has changed there. Over here with the angels, the pair has spawned, and they have some little wigglers here on the rock. You can kind of see them there. They are very protective parents. That's dad here. This is mom. She's the pearl scale. Haven't really had success with them parent raising, so you know, pulling is going to be my option if I want to keep these guys alive. Unfortunately, right now I don't have the time to necessarily try to keep them alive, but I have been thinking about moving on with these guys just because, again, I don't have the time to pull the fry, so I'd rather them go to somebody who can enjoy them and, you know, actually get babies out of them, but I'm still not too sure what's going to happen there. Moving down below here to this 10-gallon, I still have my baby Parva rainbow fry. They are growing out nicely. I have, I believe, anywhere between 12 to 15 of them in here. You can actually see they look like fish now and not just little worm-looking things swimming around. I also have two different species of corys in here. I don't know how to pronounce them. I know I posted in one of the other videos, but all the corys are doing good. And I also have L519s. I don't know if they're the honeycomb or the wabi must or whatever it is, but I know they're L519 in here. There's 6 of them. They're hiding, but these guys are basically done with their quarantine. They've been done with their quarantine for a while now. I'm going to be setting up some 20s, the extra 20s on the expansion on the 20 rack for these guys. So we'll be moving those there soon. Over to our right here, we've got our tank with the Habrosus corys. As you can see, the numbers have dwindled down significantly. I started off with, I believe it's like 17 of them, 16, 17, and I'm down to maybe 8. I don't know what is going on. Unfortunately, like every few days or so, or like once a week, I lose one randomly. They're all eating fine and everything. They just have been dropping. I'm not too sure what's going on, but you can see these guys are still, let's see, focus. Do you want to focus? They focus on that little guy. There we go. Cute little buggers, but again, I don't know what's going on. I can't keep these guys alive. I'm hoping to get these guys into a 20-gallon, which is very large for these guys. But I want to get them into a bigger tank with some sand substrate and maybe some plants growing in there and stuff like that, just to maybe make them feel a little more comfortable, and hopefully they won't keep dying on me. Over here, still got my silver tips. There's 6 of them left. These guys are going to be going into my 75 soon. This tank is a algae-ridden mess. You can see there's algae all over the place. I'm going to have to kind of kill that stuff off, but silver tips are doing great. They're going to, again, going into the 75 relatively soon. There's 2 males, 4 females in there, so I tried putting some moss in here so they can spawn in it, and the algae decided to spawn on it instead, and now it's just an algae mess. So these guys, again, are going to be getting taken out of here relatively soon. And I don't know if I mentioned over in this tank, but I did pick up some apistogrammas. I got them at the swap meet that we did for the Norwalk Aquarium Society. It was, I don't even remember when exactly it was, but picked up some apistos. So there are this bigger male here, and I believe there's 3 females and 2 males. So one pair I got at one of my meetings, and then the trio I got at the swap. So again, I believe there's 2 males, this obviously larger male here, and that's clearly a female there. And I believe there's a subdominant male, much smaller, probably the size of the females, but it has more color on its fins. And then again, 2 other females. So I'm hoping to get these guys into a 20-gallon to get them kind of spawning as well with some caves and stuff like that. I also picked up, there was 4 of the black Venezuelan corys. One of them didn't make it, so I have the 3. And there's still my cauliflower female. This is a cauliflower swordtail female. I have to get her a male so she can spawn. Now onto the 40 rack. This tank, you can kind of tell it's missing something. The baby ultims are no longer in here. They are actually in the 180 now. By the time you guys see this video, I'm going to be posting the video of moving the baby ultims first. But by the time you guys see this video, it'll probably be like 2-3 weeks since they've been in there, and they're doing phenomenal now. So stay tuned for the video of me moving them in there. But pencilfish are still in here. Gold laser cories are still in here. You can see them hiding in the back, as well as you kind of see on the drift. No, you can't see. I mean, you can see like right there. There's some stripes. That is my L397s. They're in there. Yeah, nothing really changed in this tank. So down here, these are the parents to the Parvas. These are obviously the adults. They were spawning this morning. I saw them fighting or doing sparring and stuff like that. So definitely want to get some spawning mops specifically for these guys to breed and stuff like that. So again, getting a 20 gallon, can't even talk, for these guys so I can spawn those. And then my 236s, the super whites and super yellows are all in here. They're doing great growing out. Kind of see them scattered all over the place. There's one sticking his tail out the cave. Then I've got a group of the black Venezuelan cories here, the black Schultzite cories in here as well. So the 3 that are in the 10 gallon will be coming in here with these guys. And I will be trying to spawn those guys as well. So pretty much it here. Here is the algae tank, the goldfish tank. Clearly I haven't cleaned the glass. I probably should have done that before recording, but it is what it is. This is the real, fish keepers. Fish rooms don't always look perfect. So goldfish, fancy goldfish, are still doing great. They're kicking, swimming along, lovely. These are my son's fish. He really likes these guys. I'll bring him down here and he'll look at them and just laugh at the way they swim and all the bubbles and everything. But nothing changed here. I do want to escape this tank eventually, so we'll get this guy looking nicer. Down below here, this is the albino Heckelei tank, the albino threadfinicara tank. So in this tank, there's obviously the big, beautiful male here. Look at that guy. He is stunning. And his female, who's back there, you see her poking her head out there. But my buddy who actually brought these guys over for me to spawn brought me over another female. So she is over, you can kind of see her in the reflection there. She's bigger than the original female. She's a little smaller than the male, but closer to him in size. So I had him bring over this other female just to kind of encourage some spawning, maybe a little like competition kind of thing, because this female was not interested in spawning with this male whatsoever. He's been enticing her and flashing and everything like that, and flaring his fins, and she just does not want to spawn. I don't know why. So I'm hoping the introduction of the second female will again create some kind of competition and will trigger some spawning either between these two or between the male and the new female. I'm not too sure, but that's the plan. This tank here is empty, as you can tell. So this is where the albino redhead tapajos were. I did lose the bigger male, and then the smaller of the two, I believe, was another male. So when my buddy John dropped off that second albino Heckelei female, I had him pick up the last one that was here. He took his fish back. He's going to put it with his other redhead tapajos. He's got some normals, and we're going to see if he pairs off with anybody, and then we can know if it is a male and or female. I think male, just because it was starting to get the streamers on the tail, but I don't know. I've never kept redhead tapajos, so I could be just talking nonsense. But again, this tank is empty. I don't know what I'm going to do with it for now, but it'll stay empty. There's one little snail on the glass there, but empty tank here. So let's go down here. This is the tank where I had the adult Bosmani rainbows, the trio, along with the albino cories down here, and my big albino male pleco, the bristlenose. As you can see back there and there, I've got a couple fry. There's maybe 3 to 4 of them or so of the Bosmani rainbows. They spawned, obviously, and I'm growing the babies out in here. I'm not specifically feeding to raise them out, because again, I didn't necessarily intentionally spawn them. So if they survive, cool. I could probably net them out. There's another one here. You can kind of see they're just swimming back there. Again, there's 2 there. I don't know exactly how many there are, but it's pretty cool that they spawned, and I'm hoping at least a couple of them survive. I'm not going to, again, try to feed them heavy to survive and stuff like that, but that's it for this tank, so let's go to the 20 rack. All right, top tank here. This is my snow white bristlenose tank. As you can see, there are baby snow white plecos all over, as well as in this breeder box. I'm probably going to be releasing these guys from in here into the main tank, but there are also some pygmy cories here. I believe these are just regular pygmies, pygmaeus cories. These guys are kind of like the mid-dwelling type of cory. They don't necessarily stay towards the bottom. Somebody was rehoming their fish because they were moving out of the state, so I took these guys, and there's also, you can see right back there, a little CPD. There's a group of CPD in here as well. I don't know where that guy just went. He's over there. I'm hoping to get these guys spawning, the CPDs. I kind of want to try them in a tub outside with a lot of plants and stuff like that. So I may try that this year. First year ever doing some tubs outside, but I know the weather is getting warm enough where I can start doing this, so I got to start looking for that. Other than that, this is pretty much it for this tank. It's just the pygmies are new in here, as well as the CPDs, which you guys can't really see because they are hiding all the time, which sucks. I would like to get a bunch more of them because they are beautiful little fish. Down below here, we have this 20-gallon, and very clearly, a lot of fish in here. There's, I would say, 60 or so Cardinal tetras in here. I know I had my original group that I was going to put in my 75 in here, but a friend of mine was, he got some jumbo Cardinals, which are these guys, and he was selling them for a great deal. So I went ahead and hopped on it, got 50 of them, and I put them in here with the rest of the Cardinals that I had for quarantine, kind of. I mean, they were healthy fish, but just as a temporary quarantine. And eventually these guys are going to go into my 75 once I do the rescape of the 75 and kind of the revamp, more like it, of the 75. I'll talk about the plans for that more in a future video, but I've also still got the super red bristlenose plecos in here. Sorry for the glare. You can see there's one male. There's another male back there behind the heater. And I have my longfin female somewhere in here. I don't know where she is. She hides from these guys. She's much smaller than these guys, so I don't blame her for hiding. Down below, we've got my little guppy tank here with my leopard frog grow outs. You can see them kind of hiding at the bottom of the tank and under the wood and stuff like that. But these guppies have been breeding prolifically. They are cool little fish. And I still have been catching out some of the golden ones from this tank. So I'll catch them out from here, put them into that tank where the gold line is that I have that I kind of separated off for these guys is going. So let's hop straight over there. And yeah, you can see there's plenty of gold little guys in here, along with the long fin lemon blue eye bristlenose plecos I have. These guys haven't spawned for me again. They only have the one spawn, which is in here. And it appears to me that everybody here is long fin. Oh no, there's a little short fin guy right there. Spoke too soon. This little dude right there, short fin. But it does seem like a majority of them are long fin, which is pretty cool. I've only lost one of these guys. Unfortunately, the intake for the breeder box clogged up, and I wasn't getting fresh water in here, so one of the babies did unfortunately not make it, but I've got plenty more. And then again, all the little golden guppies in here. And there's also my cull shrimp are still in here, the wild type shrimp at this point. They've been in here breeding, going crazy. I can't see any of them right now. They're probably all hiding in the hornwort, but trust me, they are in there. All right, in this 20-gallon, I have the two not-so-baby angelfish in here from the first one from my angel pair. These guys are really big now. I'm looking to possibly move these guys along. I don't know if I want to add them into my 75. I'm kind of, like I mentioned before, pushing away from the angels right now. But there's also in here, you can see there, some electric blue acara. Little babies. I got 4 babies from somebody off of Facebook. He spawned his and was selling the baby. So I've got 4 little babies that will eventually go into the 180 once they are big enough. And then I have my calico bristlenose plecos in here. So this is a female. And then I've got, you can see on the sponge filter there that I don't know if that's a female or a male. And then there's a long fin somewhere in here that's definitely a male. Let's see, where is he at? You can kind of see him back there. You see his fin right back here, right there. That's his fin sticking out there behind the cage. So yeah, got those guys. Nothing from them yet, but eventually. And then up here, this another algae-ridden tank with a whole bunch of moss and hornwort is my short fin lemon blue eye tank. So these guys have given me 2 spawns as well. I've got the babies in this breeder box here. And I've also got my Adelphi cories in here. You guys saw the video that I moved these guys in here. And you can kind of see them right here. They like to hide. They're a very shy fish. I don't see them very often. Primarily in the morning when the lights are off and I come down here, I'll see them swimming around, but that's about it. I don't get to see them that often. So I do want to separate these guys and maybe into a different tank on their own, maybe. I'm not too sure. Maybe with the dither fish, that'll help them feel more comfortable and they'll come out more, but I'm not too sure yet. And last, but most definitely not least, my 180-gallon tank. As you can see, the tank is doing phenomenal, and there's many more Ultimate Angels in here. Like I mentioned before, I did move the babies into this tank, and they are growing significantly. This is one of the babies, and this is one of the adults. So you can see getting relatively large. So 10 of them in here now. They all will swim with each other and school together and stuff. It's super cool to watch them kind of swimming along and seeing all the different sizes and stuff. Even the smallest one, which I believe is this guy or maybe this guy here. No fear, no aggression from these guys whatsoever with one another. The big ones accepted the little guys almost immediately, and they do great together. So I'm super happy with that move. I've got 2 air stones in here now. I'm currently testing this air pump that was sent to me. I'm doing a video on that, so check that video out. That's actually the last video I just posted. But everybody in here is doing great. The other second ropefish that I added in here is also doing phenomenal. He's been swimming around with the other guy. I catch them kind of swimming together sometimes. I don't know where either one of them are, but they're definitely still in here because I've caught them. I've caught them swimming around and stuff like that. And then I have my autocyclists are still in here. So you can kind of see one right there on the airline for the bubbler that I'm testing, the air pump. They're still in here and they're doing great too. As you can see on that Anubias back there, they've eaten all of that algae that I wanted them to eat. Just about. Some leaves they still have to take care of, but they've definitely done their job, and I'm super happy that I got these guys in here because they cleaned that up for me. And I also added, I forgot to mention, the little apisto, the little random apisto that was with the baby ultims. He just swam away towards the back, but I added him in here too. And I figured, why not? Give him a nice big tank to grow up in and just live his little life. And I don't know what type it is, so I'm not going to be able to get it a partner or anything like that. So I figured just let him live his life in this beautiful 180-gallon tank with the rest of these ultims. And I did forget to mention, I do plan on getting some more tetras for this tank. Not going to be Pristilla tetras. I'm going to get a different type of tetra to put in here to kind of add a different color and a different element to the tank. I'll probably add maybe another group of like 40 or so. I'm not going to go crazy with them, but I do want a secondary school of tetras in here just to make it look a little bit more lively, even though it does feel lively as is. But I also want a little bit more color in here as well. So you guys will see that hopefully soon with an unboxing video. So stay tuned for that. And there we have it, guys. That is the end of the fish room update. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like this video and comment down below. Let me know what you think of some of the new fish that I've got here. Clearly, you can see all my cardinals in here. Stay tuned for when I move these guys up into the newly done 75. You don't want to miss that. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.